Kubo and the Two Strings. Now, first off, of course, based on the title, you should probably know that this is my spoiler-free review, so there will be no spoilers. I'll just talk about some vague elements and mention some really random stuff that you guys can know, at least going into the movie. I won't be getting into any of the spoilers or anything like that. If you want to skip this video and go straight to my spoiler discussion video, there'll be a link in the description for you guys. And just to start off for this video, I gotta talk about the visuals first, because when I first saw the trailer, I was like, this looks great, and then it got into the rest of the story, and that's when I was like, because I can't remember when they like released the first trailer, but I was like, man, I have to see this movie. This was one of those movies where it wasn't getting a ton of buzz. It's kind of like the movie Hardcore Henry. That was one of those movies where it was like, not a ton of people are talking about this, but I saw it and I was like, I have to see this. Like, I was super excited. And I actually forgot it even came out today until I saw another video that someone else was doing for a review. And I was like, that came out today. And so I was like, alright, I looked up sometimes and I went straight out to go see the movie. So visually, it's phenomenal. The best comparison I think I can make is the Lego movie, where it's CG, but they make it look like actual Legos. It's like that, plus it's actually stop motion. Like, it's mostly stop motion, but the CG stuff still blends in perfectly with the stop motion. So it'll be CG, but it'll still look stop motion. And it's probably my favorite stop motion I've ever seen, because they do a lot of origami stuff. So it's like CG, you know, with some of the origami stuff that they do, and then stop motion as well. It could all be CG. I really can't tell, because sometimes, like, just the way they have some of the stuff look, it's like it could have a mix of both. So I'm honestly not 100% sure for some of the elements, but some stuff, you know, is like, all right, that's definitely, at least I assume it's not, if it's not stop motion whatsoever, which I know it is, because there's actually a thing that they show about some of the stop motion at least. So I know it is stop motion, but it just looks really, really great, and it's very Japanese inspired, which you can probably tell from the trailers. You know, it's got samurai, and it has very classical, like, Edo period. Like, anything you watch where it's like old samurai stuff is just like that. So you see people walking around with the clothing and the hairstyles. I saw certain characters when the movie first started. I was like, they have like samurai haircuts where it's like kind of the little bun and like that straight line of hair. And I was like, they're like, you know, samurai characters. And it was really great. Visually, it's really good. Overall, the movie, I really loved it, but it is very emotional. It was way more emotional than I was expecting. So that shouldn't take you, you know, that shouldn't deter you from seeing the movie in any way. But just going into it, it is actually a very emotional story, and I thought it was really, really well done. I was like, in the whole movie, I was like, man, this is way more emotional than I was expecting for this movie. And it does have a lot of comedy. It's still really funny. It has some great action scenes. It's not like a huge action movie, which I didn't think it was anyway. Like, from the trailers, I feel like they actually do a really good job. Like, pretty much what you see of each different genre, like, oh, there's a little bit of comedy in there, there's a little bit of action in the trailer, and then there's a little bit of drama in there as well. I think they basically, in the trailer, that exact percentage is what it's like in the movie, and it blends perfectly. And I felt, you know, and I normally don't talk about pacing too much, but I felt the pacing was great for this. It would have its serious moments, it would have, you know, little joke moments, it would have an action moment, then, you know, because it's a fairly grand adventure. And you go through and you're learning the story of Kubo, and you're learning some interesting stuff about his character. And I thought it was really cool. And I don't want to go into details because I'd only seen, I think, like one of the trailers, or like maybe two, and I didn't know a lot about the story going into it. So I don't want to get into it because it delves a lot into his character and some other elements, you know, of his life, really. So it's really good. And I don't want to, like I said, I don't want to spoil it, but I thought they did a really great job with this movie. It's hard to really even talk about this, so this might be super short, and then I'm just going to jump into the spoilers, but I highly recommend it. If you like, you know, Japanese-inspired stuff, which is why it really got me, because I'm huge into, like, samurai and ninjas and stuff like that, and it's not really about that a lot. It does have magical elements, which you can see that's also in the trailer, like, when they show him, I forgot the actual name of the instrument, but when he's doing it, and, like, he has, like, the paper mache, like, make wings for him and stuff. So, you know, there's, like, actual magic in there. And the woman that they show, I think is, like, at the beginning of the trailer, they show this woman who's, like, in a boat, and she strings it and, like, splits a waterfall, or splits, like, a tidal wave. So there's definitely so a lot of magical elements in it, and it's actually really well done. It's really cool. The comedy was good. It got pretty funny. Like, the first part, they do some stuff, and there's some jokes in there that are really funny, and they do some stuff with some characters. And they have a very specific voice actor in this, and they have that person say a very certain line, and that's how I knew it was them, because they said like a little bit before, and I don't think I caught it, and then they said one line, and I was like, oh, that's that person. So if you're super nerdy, like me, you'll probably know exactly who it is. You might know before they say their specific line, but it's like a classic thing that a lot of people know, like a nerdy thing. Even people who aren't nerds know this line from this specific person, so you'll probably be able to catch it. But I really enjoyed it. I like the characters. It focuses a lot on Kubo, the monkey, and the beetle. But there are a couple other characters that make some interesting appearances. The villains, I love the visuals for the villains. The two women who are like just basically in all black, they're pretty sweet. And they have the first fight scene where they show off one of them. That was freaking great. Like, those women they look creepy, and they wear like the masks and stuff, and I was like, this just looks cool, and their weapons are pretty sweet. And I was like, I like these characters. Like, they kind of embody a lot of the magic in the film, because they're just super creepy, and like all they do is like just show up and fight, and it's just weird and magical. So it looks great when they're on screen, and they're very creepy and stuff, and I love them for that, because the movie's normally like, it's very upbeat and stuff, and when they come in, it's like a complete 180, and it's like, it could be like, oh, we're learning this, or it's even if it's emotional and stuff, they come in and it's just like, boom, it's freaking creepy and scary, and I'm like, I love this. Like, they come in, changes the entire scene, and I'm like, this is great. Like, this is how villains should be and stuff, and it was really cool. Very simple villains, but very amazing to see. Like I said, the visuals are great. The action is actually really good. It has some good comedy. Very emotional. Like I said, it was a very emotional film. I was very surprised by how much emotion was thrown into this. I think all the voice actors did well. Charlize Theron is in it. She's the monkey. Matthew McConaughey is the beetle. And I forgot who does the voice of the boy. I have to look that up really quick. And I believe it's someone, I've heard his name before, but I don't remember what he's been in. So I actually have to look it up. But I think they all did really good jobs. I thought it was really well done. I liked all the voice acting. I liked all the action. Art Parkinson is who does the voice for Kubo. And Rooney Mara does the voice for the like villain characters. Very good. Like, all the voice acting is really good. Very creepy. Just nice. It's all good. Ray Fiennes does the voice for one of the main villains as well. So it's just good. It's a good freaking movie. I highly recommend it. It might not be for everyone, and that's something I always feel like I have to say, because obviously it's all opinion based, but for me personally, I was drawn into it because I'm a huge fan of like Japanese culture and stuff. That's why my name is Invisiblekatana, because I love katanas and samurai and stuff. And it's just really good. I like how they did the movie. I thought visually it was freaking great. The story, it just keeps going, and there aren't really any lulls. If there's a lull, it's really just so that they can tell more of the serious side of the movie, and it's like, it doesn't feel like it's unnecessary. Like, none of it, to me at least, felt unnecessary. So personally speaking, I would highly recommend it. I'm honestly, like, I love the movie so much, I was like, as soon as it finished, I was like, I'm gonna buy this when it comes out. So I love this movie. I would highly recommend it. It has moments where it gets a little serious. Like, there are very few points, and there's one early on in the movie where I was like, oh, dang, that's a bit more adult than I was expecting. And it's like some dramatic stuff, and I was like, oh, I wasn't expecting that for, this type of movie. But it was really good. I saw it at a matinee, so it was early, and there were like maybe like 8 other people there. There were like a couple of kids, so fortunately there wasn't any like craziness, because that's one of the things, of course, if you go see a kids movie, there'll be kids there. So fortunately for me, I didn't have to deal with any of the crappy experiences and stuff. There were some funny scenes the kids were laughing at, funny scenes that adults will certainly laugh at. Like I said, great action, very emotional, so you might be surprised how emotional this movie gets, and I was pleasantly surprised, but I think it's done really well. And also, it's not exactly predictable. Like, things happened, and I was like, man, that sucks, and I just wasn't expecting that, or holy crap, I wasn't expecting that to happen. And I think there's literally like one element, and it was like super minor, where I was like, oh, this will probably happen this way, and it did. And that was like one scene that was like super early. That was like early on in the movie too, so it didn't even have a big impact on everything else. And the rest of the movie was like, all right, this happens, but then something else happens, or there's a twist here, or a reveal there, and it just keeps going. And then it's like, man, I wasn't expecting that to happen. And I really love the way this whole movie played out. I thought it was a really fun movie. Like I said, I highly recommend it. Of course, if you have seen it, or if you've only seen the trailer, I would love to know what you guys thought about it. So please comment below. Let me know. Favorite parts, least favorite parts. Of course, if you're going to get specific, put spoiler tags, or just wait until, you can comment on the spoiler video. But if there's anything you guys want to put down in the comment section below, you of course can. And of course, thank you guys for watching.